Okay, it is almost May. Doesn't feel like it. Feels cold. But Aaron and I just finished our first overnight in the bus. We're back home, and it went awesome. The kitchen is the bomb. Totally crushed it. The couch is comfortable. The bed sleeps great. Everything was awesome. Curtains, love them. But what we've decided would be really nice, what we've realized is that as much accessible storage as you can make, the better. So we have a lot of storage underneath these seats, but it involves taking up the cushions. It involves lifting up the boards. It's just a lot of steps, okay? So what we are going to do, our next project, is we're actually going to cut this out and create almost like compartments, maybe 3 of them, with plywood. Similar to this, actually, which has been very clutch. This was built into the bus when we got it. But just having the ability to grab stuff quickly and store stuff quickly is huge. So we can tell we have a lot of space to work with here because it's kind of like the bubble over the windshield. So we will carefully be cutting all this out and building something. We can see into it through our electrical panel here that there's a lot of just open space, so that's why we have the confidence to do this. So here we go.
Alright, well this video here is what's called a giant waste of time. I grabbed my heat gun in hopes of saving this one sticker. I don't know what it is. I love stickers. I have a sticker problem, so you'll see more of that at the end of this video. But I hate to waste a sticker, so I tried to use my heat gun to get it off of there. It did not work. It came off eventually, but it just wasn't worth the effort. So 15 minutes lost, but I should say this entire project started about 2 hours after we got home from our first trip. So I just got right to work on it once we were in agreement that this would be a great spot for compartments. And I thought rather than have fiberglass dust all over the bus, let's lay a tarp down and minimize waste. I also realized really quickly that fiberglass dust is not something you want to breathe in. So I grabbed a bandana to at least offer myself some protection and told the kids to get out of the bus till it was cut down. And that was a smart move. So this worked really well though. I cut these out with the Sawzall, and you will see here in a bit I actually ended up using those as the backing plate for the compartments, the box that I built. So got some measurements, did some vacuuming, cleaned some stuff up, and got ready to get to work making these compartments. Alright, so I didn't show any of the actual building of this box, and there's a good reason for that. It wasn't pretty, it was kind of a mess, and yeah, nothing you want to see. Trust me when I say that. But here we go, coming in and getting ready to at least dry fit it and see how it goes. Just a lot of trial and error, in and out, what fits, what doesn't, where do we need to trim, what do we need to trim, and that's just kind of the name of the game with these things. We did eventually prevail.
Finally, some sunshine. It's a little cool, but I'll take it with the sun. Let me show you where we're at with this project, and hopefully today we kind of get it buttoned up and ready for paint. So I did not show any of the process of building this cabinet because it was honestly kind of embarrassing, but we got it done. I was just using any wood I had left in my shop, which wasn't much, but I really did not want to go out and buy more. I was able to get my hands on some more scrap wood, so we'll finish it with that. But if you take a look here, we got a nice, we cut all this out. We got a box. We actually used what we cut out as the back, which is super nice and gonna look good. We'll eventually paint all this probably our boring gray color. And so right now what we're working on is we're gonna get this trim installed all the way around to hold it tight and make it look really good. And then we'll work on doing some compartments while it's in place. You might ask, why didn't we build those compartments when it was out? I don't know, other than we probably ran out of wood, but also there's no chance we could take this out now because of the supports that I've put into it. They were very hard to do. I had to do a lot of fishing my arm through the electronics panel back into here. So this is what we got at this point, but I got some tricks up my sleeve, so we're gonna get some compartmentalization and this will be looking good. So here we go.
All right, so now it was time to figure out the trim and try to put some lipstick on this pig, as they say. Again, just some trial and error, figuring things out, putting some pilot holes in to avoid splitting, because the last thing I could afford at this point was splitting any of this wood and needing to remove it. That just wasn't an option. So I made it count. I slowed down so I could speed up, and it turned out pretty good.
Okay, I think we've made some pretty good progress. You've seen some of it here, but at this point, we've got our shelving built. We have some work to do to screw these in. This one's double thick here just to cover up our seam underneath. We also have a seam here. All this will get painted gray, which will take some time, but overall, pretty stinking happy with it. I mean, it's started this yesterday when we returned from our trip, and pretty much 24 hours later, the skeleton's there. She just needs some paint. So we'll see what we can do, but that's where we're at. Pretty cool.
Well, the dopamine hits weren't done yet, so I decided since it was ready for paint and I had the paint, why not start the paint? So we got to work really just kind of getting a first coat on it, and I would say it's like 90% done, but all the detail work is still left to do in the back of the boxes up against the white fiberglass. We'll have to be real careful and slow. The top and bottom of the trim will need to be slow and steady. Probably use some tape, things like that, but this was just to get the majority of it in motion and all set, and then we'll come back at it later this week when we have a little more time to do the detail work. All right, well, I mentioned I have a thing for stickers, and honestly, I'd been kind of just collecting these over the last few months, knowing eventually they'd end up in the bus, but not sure where, how, or when. But once this shelf went up, it kind of like the answer revealed itself. Like, let's just decorate above it. Let's make it look cool. Okay, well, you saw a lot of this, most of it in time lapse, but I will just recap real quick. So we got this pretty much built, 90% painted. Then I went ahead and started doing some decorating with my little sticker collection that I've been gearing up here for a little bit. These are kind of more like keychains that we glued, but they're kind of fun. So anyways, pretty happy with it, and probably going to be a great spot for like some towels, some, I don't know, I don't want to say linens, but you know, whatever, stuff like that will be good. We got a nice little lip here. We just got to paint kind of in the back and everything and dress it up. But overall, I mean, can't ask for much more. I feel like I should say I am a little bit better carpenter than what you see on display in this bus. This is all just rough cut plywood, drywall screws, exterior screws, whatever. Because essentially I know that as an adventure bus with 5 kids and a dog, you know, this thing's gonna get pretty beat up. So I don't feel a lot of pressure to make it look like finished grade quality. I'm not a finished grade quality carpenter, but I'm better than this. But also I have 0 plans when I make this. It's 100% from my brain, just thoughts, ideas, circular saws, and trial and error. So all that to say, this is what we've got. Pretty happy with it for an adventure bus. I do spend a little more time on the details when it comes to things like curtains, cushions, but framing it out and everything, grip it and rip it, baby. So 2025, the year of the adventure bus. Here we go.